And good evening from Jacksonville, Illinois, the iconic, the historic, the Bowl. This is Blue Devil basketball, non-conference style, right here on MechaSportsCo.com. Hi, I'm Jeff Wellman as we wrap up the last road game in the regular season for the Blue Devils. After closing out last night, we had their home game last night. We do have a Tuesday game against the Moline Maroons. It'll cap off the season before we get into the postseason. Devils come in 8-18 in this one. They're 5-8 in the conference. We'll have a chance to talk about that in the pregame show. Jacksonville comes in 18-8, 4-6 in the conference. They've got some height out there and having a good year with 18-8, Coach. And for them, that's pretty good because we've come in a couple years where they've struggled a little bit late in the season when we picked them up.
Well, yeah, senior-laden team. Yeah, right now you probably got 4 seniors that'll be starting, for them. So they've had their ups and downs getting up to the senior year, kind of like we are now with our freshmen and sophomores that are playing lots of minutes. So this is going to be a good team. This will be a good battle, for the Blue Devils.
It is senior night here at Jacksonville, as right now you're seeing the band members. They already had the players out there, and that's who all they covered out there. And for us, of course, our senior night was last night, honoring Milton Whitfield, Avion Tate, and Emmerich Batley. Sorry we were not there, guys, but we've had fun watching you all play, and we'll continue at the end of the season as well in your senior year. It's been some good stuff here. Hey, it's the Mecha Mobile Studio, brought to you by Sleep Tight at the Bowl here. Sleep Tight, better beds, less money. Quincy and Jacksonville. When we return, more of the pregame show, and we'll have the coaches' comments brought to you by the QHS Auto Group, Faith, Family, and Giving Back. It's the Blue Devils and the Crimson right here on MechaSportsCo.com.
Better bed, less money at Sleep Tight in Quincy and Jacksonville. Shop Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster with free delivery, setup, removal, and 0% financing for up to 5 years.
Sleep tight.
Sleep tight.
If you're building a house, remodeling an older home, thinking about a new deck, or need a whole new kitchen, Woodmart is your project partner. Since 1978, Woodmart has been the most trusted building materials and kitchen and bath design company in the Quincy area. At Woodmart, you'll find enthusiastic, experienced professionals helping you through every phase of your project. We offer smart advice for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer and top-quality materials. Woodmart Building Center, 2000 North 12th Quincy, your project partner since 1978.
This game is brought to you by Mecha Sports Co. You can find us at mechasportsco.com, on YouTube at youtube.com/@mechasportsco, and on Facebook at facebook.com/mechasportsco. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any coverage for all 4 Quincy High School basketball teams, boys and girls. Get the play-by-play and color call from Wellman and Pettit exclusively on Mecha Sports Co.
And welcome back to the pregame show. Time for the coaches' comments, brought to you by the QHS Auto Group, Faith, Family, and Giving Back. And here courtside at the Bowl in the prelim game, Andy Douglas, head coach of the Blue Devils, and always nice to come here at the Bowl.
Yeah, it is. Nice venue, good facility.
We talked earlier about your best game here when you played here. You said you had mono, so you didn't get to play, but you went back to your 8th grade year, which was a pretty good game.
A long time ago, yeah. Unfortunately missed playing here my senior year, but had a really good game 8th grade.
All righty there. I know Mike Moyers, when I was going to say 32 points, he goes, that's right, but he didn't play D. He always gave you hell about that. So, all right, non-conference, last road game until we get to the postseason. Jacksonville's 18-8 right now, but let's focus on the Devils and where they're at right now at this point of the season.
Struggling. I mean, to be honest, struggling. We got to find a way to put a complete game together. We've had, a quarter here, a quarter there, but as far as putting 3.5, 4 quarters together, we've struggled to do that. So tonight we know it's going to be a different challenge. They play a lot of 1-3-1 zone. We haven't seen a whole lot of that this year. So hopefully we're a little more awake than our sophomore group was going up against their 2-3 zone to start. They're having a heck of a season. They're playing really well. Have some kids that are extremely long, can put the ball in the basket, so it's going to be another tough one for us.
If you look at the season when we started off and how we struggled initially, but we had young players out here. If you'd have said we'll finish at least 5th, locked in there in the conference, I know we wouldn't have been satisfied, but with the young squad, would you have said, all right, that's not a bad spot?
Yeah, I really like this group. I've said that and I'll say it again. I like the group. They frustrate me at times. I probably frustrate them at times, but I love them, and I know they care about us and the program. And, it's just trying to get the most out of them each and every game that we play. They're pushing each other to be better. Unfortunately, we just haven't been able to put a complete one together.
Well, I take it Milton must have been playing better, or at least he was out on the court longer, because last night he got time enough to have 5 fouls. But how's he feeling? I know I talked to him, and he always says he's good, but you can tell laterally and jump, but he just wasn't the Milton of last year, which we kind of expected maybe.
Yeah, we knew at the start of the season if we could ever get him back to 70-75%, we'd take that, and that's probably where I would put him at. He's still can do some of the things that he did, but athletically he's not anywhere near where he was as far as being explosive, and that happens when you have surgery. But I give the kid a lot of credit. He's put some time into it. He's been a great leader for our guys, and I'm grateful that he's been able to play at all this year.
Of course, last year at this time when we took on Jacksonville at home, we had 4 double-figure guys. He had 11, so he was really coming on once he got out there. All right, everybody else is healthy?
Everybody's healthy.
All right, on the Jacksonville side, you talked about the 1-3-1. How about their offense? Any big scores? No Andy Kaufman, I'm sure.
No, they have a lot of guys that are capable of putting it in. I'm not 100% sure what they're averaging, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had 4 or 5 guys with 8 points or better. So, they're dangerous at all spots. Their bigs can play on the perimeter a little bit. They're really good in transition. We got to get the shooters, and then the big thing for us is battling on the boards. Last night, I think we only gave up maybe 5 or 6 offensive rebounds, which is great for us, but we got to rebound the ball so we can get the ball out and run in transition.
Sounds like a winner here. Let's have a good game at the Bowl. Get psyched up for next week.
All right, appreciate it.
And that's Andy Douglas. His comments are brought to you by the QHS Auto Group. Faith, family, and giving back. When we return, it's the Blue Devils and the Crimson right here, MeccaSportsCo.com.
QHS Auto Group is proud to sponsor Mecca Sports Broadcasting.
If you're looking to score your next new ride, be sure to visit QHS Honda.
And QHS Hyundai of Quincy.
With over 300 new and used vehicles to choose from, you won't find a selection like this anywhere else.
Plus, give your vehicle the game plan to success by servicing with our new state-of-the-art service center.
Visit QHS Auto Group of Quincy on 36th Street and see how QHS makes it easy.
And back at the Bowl. Pre-game show brought to you by Mecca Sports Co. Wellman and Pettit. You heard Coach talking. What do we see here, Coach, from the Crimson that you've got?
Well, they've got 4 guys that average between 9.8 points a game and 14 points a game. You've got DeFreitas averaging 14. Johnson, the 6'2 senior guard, averaging 11-2. Previtt, the 6'8 kid in the middle, averaging 10-7. And then you got Hemphill, the little guard, averaging 9-8. And then you got the 6'6 sophomore averaging 5'6, more. So you've got a lot of different kids that can put up a good game against you. So you're going to have to guard tonight, big time.
And that's one of the things we talked about all season. And then getting into a routine. Last night against UT, 13-13 after 1. That should have been an omen. That should have been an omen for us in Liberty with our signal the first half. Friday the 13th, 13-13, of course, at Quincy. Even with a 12-point run in the second quarter by UT, the Devils still found themselves down by only 7. Then it took a run in the third quarter, and it came a blowout. We've had those throughout the season.
Well, East Moline, third best team in the conference. No ifs, ands, or buts. Solid all the way up and down. That was going to be a tough one last night for the Devils. If they were going to come out, you got to play 32 minutes. can't play 16.
And that was senior night. We mentioned there Milton Whitfield, Avion Tate, Emmerich Batley. Congratulations to those seniors. By the way, the last road game, so it gives us a chance to thank those people throughout the season, not waiting till postseason or even the last home game. I'm going to start with the administration real quick. Thank you to Jody Stanky. He's been there for the games at both gymnasiums. We always see him out there. Chris Klingel, the athletic director, doing a great job. Kylie Holsteiner, her assistant. Megan Williams, saw Megan out there, assistant principal. Bill Sanders, assistant principal. Brenda Flair, we saw her last week, the junior high principal. Brett Ufkus, he's assistant principal of student services, but acts as the athletic director at junior high. Andy Hoskins, assistant principal of school management. And I'm going to tell you, I have not heard the name, so I'm going to go give it a shot. Caitlin Munguea, and I'm hoping that's right. She is the assistant principal of teaching and learning. That's where it starts at the top. We've got a lot of people throughout the night that we're going to be thanking here. By the way, if you, for those pep band seniors, I think there's 30 of them. I'm going to have to just say congratulations to all you, because I don't think I have enough time. If I do at halftime, we might try to fire that out. But we appreciate the pep band all the way from the beginning, stand up and cheer, to the fourth quarter, hey baby, and all that in between. How about that scoring table that's been there for us? Alan Ippison, your scorekeeper. Dick Ventura, going on 75 years, minus a few years in there. Not far off that. He's on your clock. John Durhickey has the scoreboard, as well as Blaine Barnes. Corey Winking is the shot clock. Paul Kuchelski, he was over watching his son Connor at the state tournament in Taylorville. He's your announcer. Heather Colombo has the digital board. The guy that really keeps that gym together, Matt Leaphart, the head custodian. Matt's there early in the day, Matt's there at the end of the night, always there. We just mentioned the pep band. That's under the direction of Jeff Duffy. Matt Burr, he's the sound man. Penny Little, we thanked her last week as she's got the cheerleaders all the way from junior high up. And Samantha Landwehr, she is the pom-pom moderator, and that's our first run of thank yous there. I'm going to take a quick break, come back with more of the pregame show right here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
Brian Harms, I'll bet you got a lot of people asking for fish sandwiches this time of the year.
You bet. Isn't that great? It is that time of year. People always love our fish sandwiches, and they're with tartar sauce and lettuce. You can get that any day of the week. We got the beer-battered Alaskan pollock back. I'm back from Alaska. We caught all kinds of them.
And what kind of fish are those?
Pollock. Pollock.
And you've got a special deal going on. 2 fish sandwiches for just $7. Right now at Hardee's, 30th and Broadway, Quincy.
Back at the Bo Wellman and Pettit pregame show here. Hey, by the way, in that scoring table and everything else around there, I don't know where she falls in, but the queen of Legos, Kathy Dooley. She's got 2 Legos, by the way, before haircut, after haircut, and she's always right there with the sound in there, takes care of the devil. And, of course, we'll be thanking him and along the rest of the guys there. He's also a senior, by the way. Well, coaches, I'm flipping through some other stuff here and doing all my thank yous. What's the Devils got to do tonight? And it's almost every night. Here we are late in the season, but what's the biggest key for the Devils tonight?
Well, the three-point shooters, locating them, making sure you put a hand in their face, because, Johnson, Previtt, the 6'8" kid, he'll step out and shoot the 3 also. And then Moore, the 6'6" sophomore, he'll shoot the 3s. Those are the 3 guys that primarily shoot them. You need to find them, put a hand in their face, make sure, you challenge and talk, shots going up, because in the zone, you got to stay matched up and, make sure you put a butt on somebody and get the rebound. That will lead to your transition opportunities, the easy baskets, which the Devils haven't had a whole lot of those this year.
Good deal there, Coach. Thank you very much. Now we'll look back. Also, by the way, as I mentioned, the Devil mascot, Ben Shelp. He is your senior there, been handling the duties on that. Congratulations, a nice job. The varsity basketball cheerleaders. And I'm not sure which ones are seniors, so I'm going to give them all to you here real quick. Katie McKay, Natalie Berry, Riley Nieders, Emily Wagner, Emma Hagenbomber, Chloe Burmeister. Oh, I'm thinking of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer there. Lila Winking, Bella Walker, Olivia Stegeman, Jaden Green, whoever seniors in there, congratulations, and you've done a nice job here. Obviously, you can get the program. You can find out and check out the freshmen, the sophomores, even the 7th and 8th grade coaches as well. And that's where it all starts right here with the coaching staff. I tell you, they've done a great job this year, as you heard Andy Douglas say. He's had to coach a little bit more and a little differently with the new squad and the frustration. So Andy Douglas, Bruce Bonas, Jeff Obert, Ryan Brown, great job. Your freshman coach, Logan Brunen. I got to remember that Coach Brunen's around because every time I talk about Coach Doug Bruner, the younger people who don't remember Bruner keep thinking I'm talking about Brunen. So I will separate those there. And Brian Trowbridge came by a little earlier. He's the assistant freshman coach. Dan Belt, you saw him last week with Carson Bowen, his assistant, at the 8th grade state tournament. 7th grade Tyron Holder and Gary Hackman. He's around for the injuries from Quincy Medical Group. And that's your coaching staff there at the varsity level. So a lot of good people. They put this thing together every year. You know, it's hard to really mention everybody because Dave Klein's always out there helping us out with a program, checking on stuff, and just a great, it takes everybody. It takes volunteers in the concessions. I know Coach is up there with popcorn. Coach Pettit loves the popcorn too. And just everybody. Frank Cash is always checking on us up top, making sure we're kind of covered there. And all the ticket takers and everybody across the way for the girls' side too. We'll bring them up next Monday at Edwardsville. Let's segue to that. The girls will be playing Edwardsville with a, 22-8, 23-8? I got to double check that. As they go into Edwardsville, the 4 versus 5. That'll be on Monday night. Mecca Sports, as we've been for the last 3 years, covering the girls. We will be there, and it will be video. So on Monday and potentially Friday, we'll have video, which will follow us the next Wednesday, because the boys will be down there taking on Edwardsville. The only difference, instead of a 4 or 5 seed, it's a 1-8, and we be the 8. All good, though, for next week out there. So, and next week we'll also be popping into Quincy's Blue Devil Gymnasium for the last home game and last regular season against the Maroons and Sean Taylor. And speaking of Sean Taylor, he spent 2 years here with the Crimson. Last night we saw Dan Sparrow. He spent 6 or 8 years, I believe, 8 years I think it was, after Mel Rustio spent 20 years here starting in 1977-78. And the guys next door said Mel might be here. He was here at the last game. And so hopefully, I think last night they had a barn burner and one maybe at the buzzer against Rochester.
Yeah, 69-67. So next point, this team's going to want to get up and down the floor. They want to be in the mid-60s, high 60s. Devils going to have to keep this in the 50-point range, in order to be successful tonight. Pace.
It's the Mecca pregame show. One of our fine sponsors, 8 Open, a Southern Kitchen. Drove by there today, 601 Main in Quincy. The OG sandwiches. They're the fried chicken sandwiches on brioche buns. Different styles, different tastes for everybody. The signature horseshoes, the feature smash burgers. It's all there. And I'm going to have to double check on across the street because Coach Bruner told me the hours have changed a little bit. But for 8 Open, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 to 8, Saturdays, noon to 9. That's 8 Open, a Southern Kitchen, right there on the 6th Street Promenade. And back here, as you'll find that we are right here. It's a beautiful table, beautiful setup. And when everybody's sitting down, you will not have the heads out there during the ball game as they are just up waiting for the national anthem. Yeah, I think, Coach, I'm going to have to check that because Bruner said, now we've been saying Thursday and Fridays for Atlas Slice, 4 to 9, Saturdays, noon to 9. He ran down there at 2 o'clock today and they were closed. I believe it is actually 4 to 8 now. I'll look at Coach Bruner's note and we'll follow up. But right now, let's go ahead and stand, take your hats off, face the flag, and honor our country and the flag with the playing of our national anthem. And I was looking for Jimi Hendrix on that one. It was not played live, but somebody had it, and I'm sure it was a student up here that possibly played that. That is a classic, though, Jimi Hendrix playing the Star-Spangled Banner. All right, Coach Pettit, we're getting ready for the starting lineups. First for the Blue Devils, they're the road team in their road blue trimmed in white. Number 20, Juels Clausel. Number 21, Milton Whitfield. Looks like we'll be starting some seniors out here tonight. Wilson Freiberg gets the start. He wears number 34. Check that 33. Parker Douglas, number 10. And the big guy inside, Brennan Lepper. And you heard coached by Andy Douglas, Bruce Bonas, Ryan Brown, Jeff Obert. And that's your staff for the Blue Devils. On the other side. And they're flying through as I'm looking out there to see who they all are. Number 1, Latrell Hemphill, 6'8" senior. Number 2, Mason Johnson, 6'2" senior. Number 12, Grayson Previtt, 6'8" senior. Number 14, Troy DeFronte, 6'7" senior. And rounding out the lineup for the Crimson, number 20, Tobias Runsala. He is a 6'3" senior. Head coach Michael Cameron. Assistant Colin Keltner. Also Mike Walls. And we are ready, Coach. Here at the Bowl. Love this place.
One of the more unique venues, that we go to, on a yearly basis or every other year. Ground level is at the top of where the people sit, and everything else is down below.
Devils will be going right to left on your dial, your computer, your phone, or whatever you've got. Tip goes into the front court for the Crimson. They win the initial tip. Ball works the right side. That's Hemphill. Devils 2-3.
2-3, yep.
Actually, it looks like it kind of looked like the 1-2-2 when Clausel comes up, but it is the 2-3. Douglas and Clausel up high. Lepper down low, left side. He's got Whitfield. Right side, he's got Freiberg. Good job early. Patience on the other side. Dunsala passes it over. A three-pointer by Hemphill starts the game off with the Crimson. First 3 points of the ball game. Devils in the half-court set. Douglas, Clausel down in the corner. Whitfield caught the tip pass. Inside, Lepper. Good job in to out. Parker Douglas makes a fake, then takes it to Freiberg. Freiberg tried to go short corner. Had his shot blocked, but good hustle by Whitfield. Tipped the ball, flew into the Jacksonville bench. Crimson still has the ball.
Lot of height and length inside with, DeFreitas, and Previtt.
Yeah, I thought Freiberg did a nice drive, but he went into the land of the Giants. Oh, almost a travel there with a little skip.
6'2", 6'3", going in on 6'8". Doesn't work out too well a lot of the time.
Hemphill passes the ball down to the corner. DeFronte's the big man. Freiberg stops him. Pass comes back out. Clausel looked like he wanted to take that ball and steal it, but stayed in the zone. Oh, and a good high-low pass there. Oh, Freiberg with a great job of the block shot and then blocks the rebound shot. That's a nice job. Taking that ball in was Previtt, and Freiberg got a piece of the first one. Previtt went back up, and Freiberg said, no, here's the second one. Whitfield, 3 passes, good job. Whoa, that ball hit the backboard. Should have been offensive goaltending or defensive goaltending. And on the other end, the basket by Hemphill. Great 3 passes by the Blue Devils. And they gave that extra pass, went in strong Freiberg, and that ball hit the glass, didn't it, Coach?
I thought it did.
Left side, Parker Douglas, inside. Lepper, turn, short hook, no good off the front of the iron. Freiberg fights for the rebound, doesn't get it. Crimson come away with it.
If we keep getting shots like that, we'll be okay.
Indeed. Trying to drive baseline, kicking it out to the opposite baseline. Shot was no good, but the ball was tipped, and there's Whitfield with another block. Whitfield blocks Previtt. So the big guy's getting swatted early by the Devils. Inside, and a move all the way to the hole, Clausel.
One thing I don't like about our defense down there, we're giving up way too many second looks. We've given up, 4 or 5 here, in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Pass in, back out. Bank shot, no good, hitting nothing. Rebounded on the weak side. Now a 22-footer, no good, rolls out. Whitfield gets the rebound.
Nice box out by Milton.
And over here on this side, Freiberg gets the Crimson to commit the first foul. Troy DeFrates, his first, the game's first. Into the ball game, number 11. I don't have 11, Coach, do you?
Jeremiah Jackson.
I'll be darned. When they sent that to me, it was not on there. So
6'1" sophomore.
Thank you, Coach. Jeremiah Jackson, number 11. Coach, I've got him. It helps to look at the right roster. I'm looking at our roster. Gee. Yeah, it's been a rough week, I tell you. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. 5-2. Crimson with the lead. Pass cross court. Douglas gives it to Freiberg. Freiberg drives into traffic. Contact, missed the shot. Crimson in transition. 2 or 3 guys there to help block the shot. This time, Grayson Previtt will head to the line to shoot 2. Devils will have their first foul. We're going to have to go back and watch that first one to see about that hitting the glass. And you can do that where, Coach?
MeccaSportsCode.com.
That's right. Love it. First foul on the Devils side. Freiberg. Did he change numbers, by the way? Wasn't he wearing 34? No, you're right. 2 for 2. Nope, 1 for 2, excuse me. 6-2, Jacksonville with the lead. Devils have the basketball. Half court set. The 1-3-1 that Coach talked about. Pointed up there by Hemphill. Caussell, long three. Long three is good. Jewels lights that one up from 20 plus. And of course, you know where that's brought to you by. That's right, since 1978, your project planner for every room, for every project. WoodmarkBuildingCenter.com. Back in the half court, 2-3. Caussell and Parker Douglas. Coming around from one baseline to the other, now taking a three, no good. And jumping up, getting the tip, Jeremiah Jackson. He was up there with 2 hands, just laid it in softly. Devils beating the pressure. Freiberg to Lepper. Lepper went 3 times, then kicked it out to Whitfield. Milton misses, weak side rebound, Parker Douglas. Bit of ball fake, and good job by Parker Douglas. Made the ball fake. Once the Crimson left, he took the shot. It's a 1-point deficit. 3:35 still left in the first quarter. Here from the bowl, Jeremiah Jackson. I was going to say we started a senior instead of Jackson there. Driving in the lane, missing the shot. Acrobatic as it was, DeFrates. He's heading the line to shoot 2. I believe Lepp came up with his first foul and the Devils' second of the first quarter. They do have size, but we haven't really been afraid of it early. But the tips have gone, and why they've had offensive rebounds, it seems they're falling their way, or even when that baseline missed shot earlier, there was pretty well an air ball, but it caught the glass. Thomas Woodson Jr. in. Lepp's going to go out with 1 foul. I think the key there is make sure he gets a rest and doesn't get a couple quick ones so he's ready. Coach Douglas.
And their best lineup may be Woodson and Lepper both on the floor, against the 6'7", 6'8" that Jacksonville throws out there.
Second room's no good. Devils got the rebound in the transition. Parker Douglas looked and faked. High post is Woodson Jr. Caussell running the 2-guard front offensively against the 1-guard defensive front. Woodson inside, off the glass, had a good look. I don't know if they rushed it all, but it was a nice shot off the glass. In transition. And a travel by the big man. When you're a big guy like that, I thought that was a good 1.5, tell you the truth. But when you're a big guy with that big of a step, it's real easy to be called for those things. Wyatt Moore comes in, number 24. Also into the ball game for the Crimson. Chris Mulamba.
Wyatt Moore's the 6'6" sophomore. It's put together a pretty good year so far.
Devils bring it across. Freiberg gets a little bit of a phantom screen out high for Caussell. In the high post, Woodson Jr. Flashing to the right corner is Whitfield. He comes up to get the ball. Back to Caussell.
That's one thing Jacksonville in this 1-3-1. A lot of pressure.
Did a good job of lobbing it in. Woodson couldn't hold on to it. Crimson have the basketball in the half-court set. 20-footer. Long shot, no good. Rebounded weak side. That's Milton Whitfield. In transition, Devils working it down the court quickly. 2 quick passes. Parker Douglas to Cassell. Cassell back to Douglas. Parker hits the three-pointer. Nice shot. Cassell gets the assist. Parker gets it. It's a 10-9 lead with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. I'll get to where you're going to get for that shot there. The runner there, no good. Tipped around. Freiberg gets the rebound. By the way, that last three-pointer by Douglas brought to you by Lumber, Hardware, Doors, Windows, Decks, Flooring, and more. WoodmartBuildingCenter.com. Inside 2 minutes, first quarter, Devils have taken the lead 10-9. On the three-pointer by Parker Douglas off the left side.
Once again, this pace is where Quincy needs to be playing at. 45 to 50 to be successful in this game. They don't want to get in a 65-point, shootout with Jacksonville.
Closell's off the right side. Douglas still up high. Freiberg's in the right corner. Oh, and a good fake there. Closell did a little look away, and when he did, he had the assist as he hit Whitfield down on the block with a score. Devils up by 3. That was a sweet pass, Coach. Through the zone, the 1-3-1. Once you stretch that out, there's only one guy on that back row that has to work the whole back baseline. And on the other side, Jeremiah Jackson launches a three-pointer. Ties it back up at 12. He's a good-looking ball player. 52 seconds and counting left, first quarter action here at the Bowl. Devils hosting. Thomas gets in a little bit of a hurry. Jackson takes it away, and then Thomas the foul. He was in hurry.
Well, you can't compound the error. You know what I mean? You lose the ball down there, then you make a foul. You can't compound the error.
Well, I think what happened, too, I think he was trying to take the shot from the corner before getting squared up. And then once he lost the ball, Jackson realized, hey, I got a piece of this one. And that is the one thing Thomas is working on in his game, trying to keep that down, keep your frustrations in check. 30 seconds coming around the screen, taking the shot from the corner for 3, no good. Weak side, that's a foul. DeFrate's pushed, I think, on the weak side. Shot was taken by Wyatt Moore coming off that screen in the right corner. For DeFrate's, it's his second foul. Both fouls coming for the Crimson. Devils working down the court. Whitfield brings it back out to Closell. Now at the point of that, there's a little more height. Closell steps through it, but Jeremiah Jackson's there to take the ball away on the pass. To the hole. Jackson misses. Freiberg fights away. And a good job there. Can't say there was any fouling going on, so it is an alternate possession, which the Devils will get with 9.3 seconds left. Wilson Freiberg's having a good first quarter on the boards.
Effort on the boards. I mean, Wilson was down there with, 3 of the Crimson, going after the ball, and he came out with it. He wanted it more than they did.
Wyatt Moore at the point is strong, and Closell steps on the line. When you had Hemphill up there, he's a little shorter. When you put Moore out there, that puts a big front.
Oh, yeah.
At the front.
You got 6'6", there's 6'8", 6'7", on the wings. This 1-3-1 is formidable.
I like that. I like the 1-3-1.
Well, if you got the right. Oh.
And the last second shot, it was Wyatt Moore over the shoulder, kind of a hook shot. And we have played one quarter at the Bowl. Hey, like last night, but 1 point shy. We are tied up. Devils 12, Crimson 12. Back with the second quarter action right here on MechaSportsCo.com.
If you're building a house, remodeling an older home, thinking about a new deck, or need a whole new kitchen, Woodmart is your project partner. Since 1978, Woodmart has been the most trusted building materials and kitchen and bath design company in the Quincy area. At Woodmart, you'll find enthusiastic, experienced professionals helping you through every phase of your project. We offer smart advice for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer and top-quality materials. Woodmart Building Center, 2000 North 12th Quincy, your project partner since 1978.
Back at the Bowl, Wellman and Pettit here after one quarter, 12-12. Coach, what do you think of that first quarter?
Played at the pace that the Devils need to play at. You know what I mean? I think we got a little bit lucky, giving up those offensive rebounds, in the first 2-3 minutes that they didn't put it back in. I think we skated away with this, but we got to keep the pace where it's at. We want this game in, high 40s, low 50s, and we'll have a chance tonight.
Crimson basketball coming out. Atlas Slice, by the way, now Thursday 5 to 8. Friday and Saturday 5 to 9 is what the door says, and that's what Coach Bruner says. And you can find Atlas Slice at 121 North 6, Quincy. We'll talk more about them throughout the broadcast. Crimson get the basketball, bring it out front. Wyatt Moore shot an air ball. The big man gets it inside, and Crimson have another chance at it. From 35 feet. Oh, my. I don't know if you call that your home touch there. It was Mason Johnson, hit the front of the iron, bounced up, and rattled in for 3. Home court advantage. 15-12, 30 seconds into the second quarter. Kenai Humphrey joins Parker Douglas in the lineup and starting the second half, or second quarter. Wilson Freiberg in the high post. Milton Whitfield along with Thomas Woodson Jr. Working against that 1-3-1. Kenai back out to Douglas in the corner. Whitfield pulls for 3. A little long on the 3. Woodson got up a little too early. Mistimed his jump. Here come the Crimson. Crimson with the ball. Previtt also in the second. Johnson's in there. We've also has Hemphill out of bounds. That's Jeremiah Jackson making the drive. And Wyatt Moore, your other starter for the second quarter for the Jacksonville Crimson. Tim Griffith coming into the line. Checks in for Freiberg. Nice job, Wilson. Good first quarter and a half, or first quarter and a minute. On the boards and playing some pretty good help D. Humphrey almost travels out high. At that point now is Hemphill instead of Moore at 6'6". Still in that high post is Woodson Jr. Kenai, they keep out of that double team and the trap. Now it goes into Woodson. There's the bounce pass. Oh, a little late there. Bounce pass was Whitfield cutting to the basket. Ball hit a couple feet. Crimson take it out. Wyatt Moore fires a 3, and from outside, Moore looked pretty sweet on that one. Even with the pink lace shoes. 2 3-pointers have made it an 18-12 game. The Crimson, 6 minutes left in the first half. Parker Douglas, he was going to Whitfield in the corner, but Milton hadn't got there yet. Turnover. Substitution. Woodson Jr. checks out. Parker Douglas checks out. Joels Clausel checks in. Also, Brendan Lepper back in the game for the Devils.
Can't let the ball game get away from them now. You know, they played them even. You know, it was 6-0 run. Start the quarter.
2 threes. Now from the left side, long 3. No good. Wyatt Moore goes over Griffith, but the problem was the ball just got to him. It was a long rebound. He was being screened out. Clausel.
Long shot's going to give you long boards.
Yep, and that was a real long on both ends. Pass goes in the high post to the right side. There's another 3-pointer. That's Mac Johnson. Coach wants to talk about it as it's a 12-point run going back to the first quarter. They tied at 12-12, but the last 3 trays opening up the second quarter, and it's 21-12 rush. 5:32 left in the first half. Take a quick break here. Return. Blue Devil basketball right here. MeccaSportsCo.com.
Ride the Baja Wave and refresh your senses with a blast of tropical lime flavor. Grab a Mountain Dew Baja Blast today. Do the Dew.
Back after the timeout by the Devils. 12-12 at the quarter. 1, 2, 3 trays. Wyatt Moore and 2 from Mason Johnson have made this a 21-12 lead.
Well, and their 3-point shooters are, you know, Moore, Johnson, and Previtt have taken probably 60%, another turnover.
Kenai lose the ball in half court with a double team. And a dunk on the other end. That's Grayson Previtt, the big man going up for the throwdown.
Well, that's what you call a bad turnover there. Another
exclamation point. Tim Griffith drives in hard. Oh, good idea. He tried to go to the opposite block. Whitfield was there, but we're behind on the pass. Drive down. Jeremiah Jackson flies in through Devils. Touches it last. Ball will go Blue Devils. 5:03 left in the first half.
Jacksonville just wants it more, you know, than we do right now on both ends of the floor.
Yep. I think early in that game I saw with Freiberg and them, we played good D. We really got after it, but here in the second quarter, it's been Crimson. Parker Douglas checked in. Him and Clausel in for the guards. Has it knocked away, double teamed. Parker better hustle for it. He doesn't beat the man to it. That's just good hustle. I missed it down there. Hemphill missed it.
Yeah, and then we didn't get back, because let's face it, they missed the first one. Nobody was there for the rebound.
Johnson got it. Good pass to Whitfield. Count the basket. Whitfield went into Lepper. Lepper went in strong, got fouled, and that's where we got to start down at the block with the big man. He'll have a chance at a blue-collar three. It also stopped the 16-point run going back to the first quarter.
I mean, they've got, a lot of size, but it's long, thin size. Lep should be able to do what he wants to do down on the block. We just got to be patient enough and take care of the basketball enough to get him the ball.
Lep completes the three-pointer, 25-15.
Sponsored by Woodmart.
You got it. Kevin's got good wood. Get out and check him out. Jack McKenzie Way. If you don't know where that's at, ask somebody. It's 12th and Seminary Road. Half court. Crimson. Inside, back out. Wyatt Moore, his three. Good follow through and misses it. Problem was, it was a double team out here on the side for rebounding. Crimson got it, but then on the second one, Lepper gets it. Lepper goes down. And a good job by Wilson Freiberg. He leaned in to Grayson Previtt, and that's going to be his second. So Previtt and DeFrates both with 2 fouls here with 4:08 left in the first half.
And I always said, shot blockers, you got to go into their chest, go up into them, and get the body contact, to get the foul.
By the way, the first game, the Devils lost 53-43. But they were down huge. You heard Coach Douglas in the pregame show pretty well saying, hey, I hope we come out with better intensity and play better than these guys did. Second half, the Sophomores, or if you want to call it the JV game, did a great job.
The bank is open for Mr. Freiberg.
That's right.
From the free throw line.
Second one off the back of the iron. 1 out of 2 for Wilson. Crimson get the rebound in transition. Resetting the offense. Hemphill to the right side. Wyatt Moore from 25 feet. No good. The ball comes out hard and at the ground and bounces through 3 of the Devils.
But once again, you got to challenge the shot. You got to communicate saying the shot's up. And then everybody's got to get their butt on somebody. That was a poor job on the defensive glass that time.
Well, that's a tough angle, that ball coming down. But like you said, Coach, you got to be ready.
No, you got to get a butt on somebody.
Devils.
Your guy can't get the ball.
Avion Tate had checked in, by the way. He's in the back of that 2-3 with Lepper and Freiberg. Driving to the basket, then kicking it down low. That was one of the smaller guys down there, Harrison Alexander. He realized kick it back out. The southpaw from the right side. Jeremiah Jackson hits his second three-pointer. He's got 8 already. 28-16. Crimson with the lead. And the Crimson steal the ball. Crimson take it down for the layup. And good. Quickness out there, Latrell Hemphill.
Another bad turnover by the Devils.
30-16, Devils are down. In the high post to Lep. Right side, Parker Douglas. He decides not to shoot the 22-footer. Good idea. Good pass high-low, and that's a great finish with a reverse layup. That was Wilson Freiberg, but give the assist to Lep on that one. We always talked about Lep's game, and his passing was his best, but I like the way he's been playing with his footwork around the post as well. Back out high, Alexander drives in, kicks it back out. Looking at the shot, pass it up. Johnson goes inside of the big man. He tries to spurn, and there's a bigger man there. Lep knocked it away. Avion Tate grabs it. That's a wall, folks. There's a good high-low, and another good pass. Oh, now hold on. We got back in bounds. Lep through the high-low to Freiberg. Didn't have the shot. Hit Parker Douglas, who was running the baseline. Both his feet were back in and stable. He secured his spot, but the official says no, no, no. 2:25 left in the first half. 30-18, Crimson have the lead. Open up the second quarter with 3 trays to build that off that 12-12 tie after 1. Coming around the screen, taking it down the baseline left. Johnson pulls up. That was Johnson, or did he pass the ball?
No. Good move.
Johnson now. He's got 10 points in the ball game. 32-18. Another high-low. This one goes into Avion. Avion lost the handle on the ball. Crimson tried to come out. Joels gets it. Half-court set. Joels tried to do a little bit too cute of a pass. He had his man, tried to do that little pass from the hip. Through 2 of the Crimson. Little hot pass there for Lepp. Out of bounds, Crimson with 1:49 left. Stick around at halftime. We'll break this one down. Give you a little postseason action as well. And next week's schedule for Mecca Sports Co. Not sure what happened there. It gave Whitfield a chance to come in. Clausell will go out. So at the top of that zone now, here's the lineup we look at here. Whitfield moves up with Parker Douglas in the 2-3. Lepp's got Freiberg on one side, Avion Tate on the other side. So even if you have them or Griffith or Woodson Jr., that's a big front back line. Oh, too easy for the high-low. Good job of help on defense there. Crimson alter the shot. Long pass out to Freiberg from Douglas. Tried to go with the alley-oop, and the shot didn't hit it. 30-footer. Left side, no good. Avion Tate, he was he was sandwiched by the Crimson. And when the ball came out, it was a real easy pass to the opposite block for an easy layup, and that was Chris Mulamba. 34-18, 1 minute left, first half action. Devils have the basketball. Parker Douglas from long range, no good. Might be a little quick on the shot there on that half. You still had a minute left in the first half. Outside range a little bit too. Into the high post, quickly back out with the jump pass. 2 jump passes brought it out. Now straight through the zone, down in the low block to Mulamba. Mulamba goes out weak. Long rebound. Whitfield was there. Whitfield fouls Mulamba for Milton, his first. That's our first, I believe, of the second quarter. 2 on the other side for the Crimson.
Another offensive rebound, though. You can't do that, be successful, when you're playing the 2-3 zone.
Tate comes out, Clausell comes in.
And we talked about pace, first quarter, 12-12. Okay, now we're at a pace for 68 to 70 points, for this Jacksonville squad.
22-6 in this quarter.
Yeah, they're running at their pace now.
On the left side, Alexander gets picked up there by Milton. Back out to Alexander. He'll take a 3 off the front of the iron. Parker Douglas gets it on the weak side. Skips it out here. Jewels on the left side. 17 seconds and counting in the first half. Parker Douglas, it's that 1-3-1 in the front. Goes to the high post. Quickly down to the right corner. Whitfield keeps the ball moving with Parker Douglas and Clausell. Jewels, and a great backdoor cut. Milton, strong to the basket. Good job there by Whitfield. Gets the basket, and the buzzer goes off. We have played a half. We've had a lot of high-low looks out there. Haven't gotten them down there, but that last one will close out the half. And at the half, the Crimson of Jacksonville 34, your Blue Devils 20. And, Coach, rough second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, first quarter, our pace, our game style that we needed to play, to be successful. Second quarter was all Jacksonville.
Stick around. We got the halftime breakdown. We'll do some more thank yous out there if we can find other people to thank. We'll just reach out and thank everybody out there. We thank you, as Jim Wilbur used to say, for listening to us here. It's halftime at the Bowl. Jacksonville's got the lead 34-20. It's Blue Devil basketball right here. MeccaSportsCo.com.
Bet you outdrive you this hole.
If you outdrive me, I'll take $10,000 off every car sold at Kunis Quincy this month.
Daddy needs a new ride.
At Sleep Tight in Quincy and Jacksonville, we believe everyone deserves a better night's sleep. Discover top mattress brands like Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. Your purchase always includes free delivery, free setup, and free removal of your old mattress. Plus, enjoy 0% interest for up to 5 years. Better bed, less money. Only at your locally owned Sleep Tight in Quincy and Jacksonville, where comfort and community come together.
Sleep tight.
Sleep tight.
It's that time of year and spring is right around the corner. With Best Kept Sod Farm Services, you can rest assured that our team of landscape professionals will provide all of your landscaping needs. We offer sod sales, delivery, and installation, and also full-service landscaping solutions and property maintenance to achieve that desirable curb appeal. Don't wait. Call or text Best Kept Sod Farm today at 217-779-0620 to discuss your landscaping needs.
Who do you call for ceiling fan installations? Argobright Electric. Electrical troubleshooting? Argobright Electric. Home rewiring? Argobright Electric. Whole house generators? All it takes is one call to Argobright Electric. 224-5557.
Back at the bowl for halftime, Wellman and Pettit. 34-20, it was 12-12 after one quarter. The last bucket of the quarter was a three-pointer by Jacksonville to tie it up 12-12. They said, why not keep it going? They put up three more. So 4 straight threes and 16 straight points going from the first quarter to the second quarter. It was a 25-12 lead for the Crimson. Devils came back with a blue-collar three, brought to you by Brendan Lepper and Woodmart Building Center. Another free throw, 2 more buckets on the side for the Crimson. Devils get a bucket, give up 2 more buckets, and you can't go 2 for 1 on that. You've got to be the one scoring the 2. But the Devils do get the last bucket of the half, 34-20 down by 14.
Yeah, and a big part of, this run, by Jacksonville has been on the offensive glass. They're shooting threes, long rebounds. We're not boxing out well at all, out of the 2-3 zone. And, that's hurt us big time, second quarter.
6 threes so far for the Crimson in the ball game. They had 2 in the first quarter, shot 4 in the second. Hemphill's got 1, Johnson's got 2, Jackson's got 2. Jeremiah does a lot of stuff out there, and Wyatt Moore has 1, and that doesn't even count one of the guys that's supposed to be shooting threes, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got Previtt, the big kid. He shoots threes too, and probably 4 to 5 a game, and he hasn't shot one yet, but he hasn't had to.
And Wyatt and a couple of guys have taken some from 25 foot. It is nice to see Jacksonville turn around a little bit because I know they struggled there a few times, over the years. It's, 500, below 500. So they do have a good team. And when you got that kind of height, Coach, you're bound to have a good team. You hope.
Well, Moore, the 6'6" sophomore kid, I like his stroke. I mean, he looks like he's going to, put a whole bunch of points on the board, during his career.
It is halftime. Here, I'm going to take a quick pop here and bring them up. One of our halftime sponsors, Atlas Slice, actually overall sponsors, 121 North 6 in Quincy. Chef-driven craft pizzas and wings from an open flame, high heat oven. Drinks from Excel, open according to Coach Bruner on the front door. Thursday, 5 to 8. Friday and Saturday, 5 to 9. So don't show up at 2 o'clock on a Saturday. You won't get any business there. Atlas Slice, 121 North 6, Quincy, the 6th Street Promenade. All right, Coach, we looked at those 6 threes and really that run. We talk about the run the young Devils fight a lot of times. They play, that happened the other night, last night. Tied at the first quarter, gave up the first 12 points of the second quarter. Tonight, we give up the next 13 points in the second quarter and a 16-point run, and those are tough to come back from.
Well, it's the offensive glass, number 1. Number 2, it's us getting sloppy at the ball with our bad turnovers to where you make the pass, they're going down the other end and shooting a layup. Can't do that. You've got to take care of the basketball, get good shots every trip down the floor, on the offensive end. Run your offense, be patient, but you got to be able to handle the ball.
And we're out here on the road for the last road game for the Blue Devils here in the regular season out here. We did a lot of thank yous there earlier. Whoever does the program does a nice job out there, and congratulations to them and all the supporters out here. Throughout the season, you'll get to know different players. Also, you get to know the cheerleaders and the pom-pom. So when you're out there at the games, pick up a program. They're great to have with you. You can see who was the supporting cast, for these teams. We got the varsity Q City Palmers. They're in there, and they've got about as many people as the band, and I'm not sure which one are seniors, so a shout out to the Q City Palmers, and one more time the QHS Pep Band as the local band here. The Jazz Band, I believe, is what they call it here at Crimson Country. Little rain outside here. Coach Penn and I did a meteorology report last night. No need to do one. Next week, Coach, this is Saturday. I got to check my dates. Monday, off to Edwardsville. Number 4, Quincy High Blue Devils. Number 5, Edwardsville Tigers. by the way, the Blue Devils from the girls' side. That'll be the matchup, 6 o'clock. After that, who did we say was that? Was Alton in the game after that, I believe, as they'll be the team we face. I'm getting mixed up with the boys, and then I get mixed up with the Raiders and the Lady Raiders as well. So that is Monday. So tune in. We've been following the girls for 3 straight years. Each year getting a little better. Remember that first year, no ads, moving camera. We had to move by ourselves. We still have to move it here. Come a long way, baby. That sounds like an old advertisement from the 70s out here. That was a cigarette ad, by the way. I think Benson and Hedges, not to bring up cigarettes there. Kids, don't smoke. There you are. Don't start. So in there. Then Tuesday, home game, the last one for the Blue Devils. Sean Taylor comes in. The Maroons of Moline. Be a great opportunity to knock them off. By the way, what did I tell you? Rocky beat Galesburg. We'll talk about that in the girls the other night. So that was good from Henry Hall. Wednesday, we have the night off. Thursday, we get to go to the pit. If the Lady Raiders win their first game, which they should, but I got to say if, that's on Thursday night. Then Friday, if the Lady Devils, the Blue Devils from the girls' side win, they will be back at Edwardsville on Friday. So that's what we've got. Edwardsville, Blue Devil Gym, night off.
And if for some crazy reason the Lady Blue Devils don't win, we'll go to Keokuk and get the QND boys. At Keokuk's got a good ball club.
Yes, the big man.
That should be a heck of a game.
Yep, the big guy from 3 years ago, 3 years ago, we saw transferred to one of the traveling teams, or the, I don't know what you really call them, the select.
Prep team.
Thank you, there you go. He is back, though, in Keokuk. He was a big kid when we saw him the first time.
Oh, yeah, he had some good moves, great feet, great touch around the basket.
And the Raiders, winning their 23rd last night, they got a good-looking ball team up and down. And that was a good first half. Sorry we didn't have it there somehow.
Well, they get after it on the defensive end. And, I always say defense wins ships, so, they got a good opportunity to go a long ways, in this state tournament.
Well, halftime's running out here. I was going to break down the standings in the Western Big Six. I will right now. Moline and Rocky right now at 12-1 each. East Moline's 9-4. Galesburg 6-7. Quincy is locked in the 5th spot no matter what at 5-8. Geneseo and Alleman 3-10. Sterling 2-11. So the Devils will find themselves in that spot. And on Tuesday, Rocky will host Alleman. Geneseo will host Galesburg. East Moline hosts Sterling. And of course, Quincy will host the Maroons. So there's your lineup there for the Western Big Six. And we know on the girls' side, Western Big Six champions, first one since 97-98. Great job out there as they're now 13-1 there. And I had a chance to talk to the last member of a team that was there, Ruth Kipping, last night as she was up in Liberty working that game. Good stuff there, Blue Devils from the girls' side. Devils have it to start off. Lepper goes to Freiberg. Freiberg's in there. Freiberg does a fake, and it's a great fake. The ball fake took the Crimson away, and he took the reverse layup to start off the half.
Good pass by Lepper.
Your lineup for the Devils, Parker Douglas, Juels Clausel. They're at the front of the 2-3. Deep in the middle is Lepper with Whitfield on his left, Freiberg on his right.
Back with the starters.
Trying to go into the high post, we'll check the Crimson. High-low, and boy, high-low there at a very high spot as the pass went from DeFrates inside to Prevet. He made the bucket.
Whitfield's got to stay with Prevet on that. That was his man.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, you can't let that guy get within that close. Clausel from the left side for 3 points. I looked down briefly to do a check, and Juels hits his second one of the ball game. Makes it a 36-25, and of course brought to you by those guys at 12th and Seminary Road since 1978. Your project planner, Woodmart Building Center. Looking for the high-low. That time Freiberg closed it down. Whitfield's got to get us around his man. This time he didn't, but he flies out. Driving to the basket and get fouled before a shot was Latrell Hempville. First foul of the second half will go against the Devils, and it goes against Clausel, his first.
Got to do a better job of staying matched up, in your on-ball defense on the 2-3. Oh.
And in the zone, Freiberg got behind the big man, DeFrates. Tony, who shot 2 free throws in the first quarter, went 1 for 2. Will shoot 2 more right now with 6:53 left, third quarter action. For Freiberg, his second foul.
DeFrate's top scorer, averaging 14 a game.
2 so far, and they're both at the free throw line. Devils doing a good job of keeping him from scoring. I open my mouth there and watch out. Floodgates might open up. At least 2 free throws go down. 38-25. Crimson drops back, picking up a little bit on the full court action. Clausell brings it across the timeline. Double team out here on Douglas. He gets it into Lepper. Lepper keeping it up high. Lepper made a great move against the Frates. Prevet was there to block the shot when he went up for the little short hook.
Well, he's making the move on 6'7", and 6'8" comes over and helps out. That's tough nut to crack.
That's where that weak side needs to be there.
Yep.
Pass goes right through the hand of Hempville. Clausell picks it up, takes it down to Freiberg. Freiberg put it on the floor. Freiberg gets brought down on the floor. They're going to call a jump ball. Jeremiah Jackson was there.
Not a good place to bring the ball down, because they're going to dig it out for sure.
Double team. Clausell with a good pass there from out high when it got tipped. Hempville almost had it. Clausell got it and then zipped it right back inside. Devils changed up to man-to-man coach. Parker Douglas picking up Hempville. Left side to Johnson. Johnson has Freiberg on him. Here comes that slip there. The 3, no good by Prevet. He looked like he was going to go ahead and screen, slipped from it, took the 3. Lepper, shot from 16-15. I was halfway in between both. Couldn't figure out what I wanted.
I was going to say from the elbow.
There you go.
That was a good look.
Tipped away there. Getting up in the air was Hempville a little soon. Douglas and Lepper were there, and Clausell tips it out in the corner. Crimson basketball, 5:55. 550 fee.
5-5.
There you are. Hempville pulls up from 15. Nothing but net. That was a nice looking shot there. He's got 9 in the ball game.
Well, and he comes in averaging right at 10 per game. So he's on his, schedule.
Bad pass inside. He's going to get it right here. Hempville breaks down court. Bad pass inside to Lepper. And here's a 6-point run.
Well, another bad turnover that ends up into an easy basket on the other end.
And that's what happens when you do that. Now we have a 6-point run. Got it to 36-25 within 11 again. And boom, boom, boom. 2 free throws. 2 buckets.
He's got to take care of the basketball. That's the bottom line. Turnovers, we've got to be in double digits at least, in turnovers up to this point. We're at 5:33 left in the third quarter. That's not a good sign.
Devils have the basketball. Lepper's in the high post. Working against that 1-3-1. Clausell from 25. No good. Freiberg was inside, but the ball came out to the front. Rebounding DeFrates for the Crimson. Hempville sends it right side. Coming around Jeremiah Jackson's screen down to the baseline. Now Jackson sits up for the southpaw 3. Rattles in and rattles out. Lepper comes away with a rebound for the Devils. In transition, Parker Douglas bounces in traffic. Milton Whitfield with 2 Crimson sliding down on him. Whitfield now with 6 in the ball game.
Good finish by Milton.
That broke that 6-point run of the Crimson. Ball goes inside, losing the handle on the ball. Clausell picks it up for the Devils. Down the left side, Whitfield kicks it to the right side. Jewels for the shot, no good. Parker Douglas flies down the lane. Don't think he was going to get that rebound over the big man. Hempville off the right side. Works on Parker Douglas. Oh, and he tried to get a little quick one there, but Lepper was ready for the steal. Half court set. Tipped out there, gone in the backcourt, so Clausell goes and picks it up. Freiberg in the corner. 1 dribbles, jump pass. First of all, you can't jump pass. Second of all, you got a guy coming down to trap you. He's got his hands in the lane.
Just sloppy ball handling all the way around. From our point guards to, whatever. Passes are getting deflected. Can't get into any offensive, structure or rhythm, so to speak. And, just sloppy on the offensive end.
Clausell comes around the screen from Lepper. Shot from 3, no good. Long rebound, Hempville. Brings it down. Trailer coming out behind him was Johnson. Popping out in the left corner. That's Prevet. Prevet working against Lepper. Brings him out front, dribbles off his foot, might have been off Lepp's foot. Either way, Devils get the basketball. Pass behind Douglas. Here comes Lepp, transition.
Great
Lepp
pass.
flashes high. Good double pump by Freiberg. Didn't get the shot. The big man was coming down on him. That was Prevett. You don't want to get up in the air with him because you're going to end up coming back down with the ball. Reverse it maybe, go all the way through if you don't have the shot.
Shot fake, get him up, and then go into him.
Flashing over DeFrates. Helping out was Parker Douglas. Lepp has him. Weak side. Freiberg gets up over his man Jackson, maybe on his right shoulder a little bit. Either way, Lepp gets it. Devils have the basketball. 3 minutes left, third quarter action, 42-27. Devils are down. Lepp faces up at 15. Closell from the right side. Back into Lepp from 12. Lepp trying to go weak side. Lepp works around three guys. Great step down. Boy, it was so close, and the left hand just doesn't get over the iron. That was some work there to get to that spot. He went through 2 to 3 Crimson, got point blanked. Cannot knock him on that one at all.
Good footwork. You know, good footwork, good shot fakes.
2:51 substitution gives Lepp a break. Tim Griffith checks in along with Thomas Woodson Jr. Whitfield, Clausell, and Douglas stay in the ballgame. Across the timeline, left side. That's Wyatt Moore who just checked in. The big guy, he had a three from the right side, contributed a lot. Whitfield blocks the shot. Hempfield just put it up there. Whitfield says, no, no, no. In transition, Tim Griffith, right side, short. Parker Douglas flashes down for the offensive board. Clausell looks for help. Brings the ball down too low to the floor. Crimson take it away from him. Hempfield's going to wait for his first guy through. Tries to go inside to Mulamba. Lost the handle. DeFrates. I don't know if that'll be on the drive or not. The whistle went up a little quick. I thought that was on the drive. Tim Griffith commits his first foul. Devils third of the third quarter. On the other side, 0. And they're going to say continuation for Troy DeFrates. He's a big guy. That looked Euro-Asian. Euro-Asian. Jim Bearden's favorite word out there. Basically, that means they're making the move from Europe to Asia as they make that slow down 2.5, 3, 4 steps, whatever you want to say. It's legal, though.
I was going to say 2.5.
There you go. 2 free throws in a row. Big man is 5 out of 6 so far on the night. 44-27. 2 minutes left, third quarter action. Devils down, and now here comes Moore at the front of that 1-3-1 at 6'6". There you go. A lot of bounce passes around him. Move the basketball. He blocks that whole side of the court off.
Well, and he's only a sophomore, too.
Woodson Jr., short corner. Whitfield puts it up. Had a little contact from Alexander with the small guard down there. I almost wish Milt would have grabbed it, taken it in strong against him. Traveling call, Wyatt Moore. Wyatt says, I didn't do that. He even saw him turn. But he goes and gets the ball for the official and sets up in the front of that 1-3-1 that's way in the back court. But Moore wants to send it one way, and there he goes. See, he's already blocked the court, making sure that Clausell goes where he wants him to. Over there in that big trap. That's a big trap over there. Wow.
6'6", 6'8", yeah.
And 6'7's floating around out there somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Mulambu's pretty good size.
Well, 6'4".
This team is a good team for Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
Bigger than most of their teams have been. Whitfield, the high post. Wow, a good look there to Woodson. He didn't have it, so he kicked it back out to Tim. Griffith tracked it down. Jewels misses. Parker Douglas another rebound. Jewels in the left corner. Bounces. Oh, and he tried to go all the way down to the right block. It kind of was there, but you were going to have to throw that hard. Crimson drives. Woodson comes out, making sure that Mason Johnson does not get that shot up on the board. But Mason is going to shoot 2 for Woodson Jr.
Jacksonville up by 17 here, 44-27 with 49 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
And that is the 4th foul on the Devils, second against Woodson Jr. Free throw is good. Max Johnson. Previn has 2 free throws. He's 2 for 2. They've only missed 1 all night, and they still have only missed 1. 2 for 2 makes it 46-27. Devils should have the last shot if they can protect the ball from this 1-3-1. It is big and spread out. See Parker Douglas.
Very long.
Gets it over to Clisell. Over to Whitfield. Whitfield right in front. Shot no good, but Milton's going to the line. The foul called on Chris Mulamba. His first and the first for the Crimson in the third quarter. You know, we had a couple guys breaking to the basket on that one, Coach. Whitfield got the ball, put it up about 6 feet out in front of the basket.
Well, there's holes in that 1-3-1. You know, if you attack it the right way, you know, you should be shooting layups all night long.
Problem, they are not out there top of the key out. That 1-3-1 out there is solid. The three comes across basically the free throw line. So you've got to break that. Once you break it.
Well, you got to run that bottom guy corner to corner. You know, and once you get the ball in the corner, you got to go short corner, you know, and then dive to the basket. You know, you should be shooting layups or little 5-foot floaters all day long.
I can remember playing that back guy in the 1-3-1, and you have to be very athletic.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got to be able and anticipate each corner, be tall enough that you can cover, but at the same time, you're going from one corner to the other, and if you can work it properly.
That's your best athlete has got to be the bottom man on that. You know, and like Jacksonville has, you know, you go 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" on the wings, you know, and then 6'4" in the middle, and then, you know, running, you know, Mulamba back and forth, running Jackson back and forth. Gosh, I mean, it's a good defense for this particular team.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Of course, they play in a tough conference. I believe they were 4-6 in that conference. 48-47. That was 48.
Well, you got Normal U. You got MacArthur. I think they're 28-1. You know, ranked I think third or fourth in the state.
10 seconds left in the quarter. Ball goes in. Tim Griffith. Tim misses the three from the corner on the right side. Jacksonville gets the rebound. In transition, Wyatt Moore. Wyatt says, I'm going to go all the way to the hole. Misses. Good drive. He didn't stop to pop. He said, I'm going. And we have played 3 quarters here at the iconic bowl, the bowl. It's Jacksonville 48, Quincy High 29. Hey, baby, it's time for the fourth quarter and a rally right here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
Dreaming of a new kitchen or bath that's as functional as it is beautiful? At Woodmart Building Center, we bring your vision to life. Choose from a wide variety of cabinetry finishes and styles to fit any space and budget. Our expert designers work with you every step of the way to create a space that's uniquely yours. From timeless classics to modern masterpieces, your dream kitchen or bath starts here. Visit Woodmart Building Center today. Find us at woodmartbuildingcenter.com or stop by our showroom at North 12th and Seminary Road, Quincy.
And back here at the bowl, Wellman and Pettit talking about last week. Colin Powell did win the 8th grade, right?
Oh yeah, they won by 20.
Against over Manuka?
Yeah, 64-45 was the final, but yeah, I looked at that, and they beat Park Forest Michelle Obama by 4 in the first game. They beat O'Fallon by 1, you know, in the second game, so they played the best that was down there, I believe.
I would say so. And it was a lot of fun there in Taylorville. Thank you to the comments, Coach Belt. We really appreciate letting us in your back room, your front room, the couch, the kitchen, the refrigerator, to follow your ball. And all you fans that came over too and said thank you. We appreciate that as well. Fourth quarter is here.
It's a good time. Anytime they get down there, we'll be there.
Yep. Love to follow the programs. Fourth quarter, Devils have the basketball. The point of this now goes back to Luttrell, Hempville. Devils lose the handle of the ball. And
another bad turnover.
Yep.
I mean, no pressure. You know, we can't make the simple pass.
That might be a tough word there, simple. Sometimes the simplest things are the hardest things. Shouldn't be. Lineup for the Devils are in man-to-man. Parker Douglas, Tim Griffith, Milton Whitfield, Bren Lepper, and on the right side, looking like he was almost in zone, was Thomas Woodson Jr., but he's matched up with his man. He's got one of the big men. Pushes that guy to the side. That was Troy DeFrates. Tried to make the pass into Grayson Previtt. Ball out of bounds, touched last by the Devils. Also in there for the Crimson, Jeremiah Jackson. We mentioned Latrell Hemphill out high. And where's my other fourth guy at? Oh, he's hiding out here in the corner. That was Mason Johnson. Foul in the corner on the Devils. Second foul of the quarter, 7:27 left in the ball game. Lepp's going to get his second. He had his first way back in the first quarter, so Lepp doing a good job of playing the big guys inside without fouling. Freiberg, too. I mean, he has 2 fouls, but he's really been after it. Shot from the right side, no good. Milton Whitfield, weak side. He got the rebound. Transition. Parker Douglas. Oh, I think that was a little arm, but definitely a block shot if it wasn't arm. Parker says, hey, when you're a short guy and you go into the lane like that, you go at your own risk.
The one thing you tell Parker is you're going in the lane against a 6'8", maybe stop, a couple more feet out. You know what I mean? And put it up, and then you make a couple of those. Then you do a shot fake, then you go around the big guy.
Yep. Shot by Woodson Jr. was no good. The dunk on the other end, no good. But a foul, it might have been Woodson Jr. Trying to throw the dunk down was Grayson Previtt. He's going to have 2 free throws coming up. It is on Woodson Jr., his 4th foul. Well, good physical play on that one. I can't complain, Coach. He's going in for a dunk. Stop it from the dunk. 7:08 left. Make sure you stick around for the post-game show brought to you by Hardee's.
He still almost made it, though. He's going to go up for a dunk, and I'm going to be down there. His arms ain't getting up at all, period.
Yeah, he had 2 guys hanging on him as well.
Yeah, I mean, no, that ain't going to happen.
Good free throw shooting team so far tonight, too. I'd say the way they shoot them, overall, good free throw shooting team. 4 straight free throws from the Crimson. They are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Hold on here as I get back to the action first. Basically 12 for 13 or 14 for 15. I'll give it to you in a second. Parker Douglas fakes the shot. In the high post, Brennan Lepper cutting down Whitfield. Look at that. Whitfield got it down point blank. Woodson Jr. missed the layup. That was 3 passes from the elbow in. Mid-range, and then Whitfield with a little touch.
Can't draw it up any better than that for Coach.
Yep.
Hey, you know what I mean? 2 quick passes, good cuts, wide open look going to the hole.
Got to close it out there, as we all know. Coming around the screen, Devils still in the man-to-man. Played a lot of that 2-3 zone early. In the left corner, flashing of the ball. And standing on the line, but hands it to the official, DeFrates. Substitution coming up. 13 for 14 free throws. Jeremiah Jackson checks out. A fan favorite comes in. Tobias Runsala. Runsala, I believe, started the game, number 20.
Well, senior night, they started him, so, they're going to get him back in here for, the last 6 minutes of the game.
Avion Tate comes in for the Devils. Griffith checks out. Boy, it's so much easier to work against the 1-3-1 when the guy is not 6'6". Devils back out high. Into the low ball, actually about the mid-range. Lepper with a short little hook. Nice job by Brennan. Good entry pass inside, too. A nice bounce pass that Lepp could control. 50-31. Crimson with the lead. Inside 6 minutes left in this one. Driving down, Parker Douglas. Hemphill took him down there. Lepper gets the weak side rebound. And then getting to half court, Parker Douglas just had it taken away. Johnson gives it to Hemphill. Hemphill goes in for the layup. Well, if 2 guys are coming out on you, Coach, you know somebody's got to be open. You got to move the basketball faster. Parker Douglas and Whitfield out high on the 1-3-1, the 2 guard. Oh, and a great pass up from 30 feet from the basket. Found Woodson Jr. down on the block. That's a nice assist from there. And we stretched out the 1-3-1 so it was available. Timeout taken. 4:08 left in this one. Crimson 52, Devils 33. We're back with more in the final of the 4th quarter. MeccaSportsCo.com.
Spring is right around the corner with warm weather approaching quickly. Best Kept Sod Farm offers a full line of landscaping services. We can provide the labor. If you thrive on DIY, we can give you advice or recommendations on how to make your lawn the talk of the neighborhood. No job is too big or too small, and as always, we provide free estimates. Best Kept Sod Farm is a local company who strives for excellent customer satisfaction and takes pride in what we do. Contact us today by phoning or texting us at 217-779-0620 to discuss your project needs.
Who do you call for ceiling fan installations? Argerbright Electric. Electrical troubleshooting? Argerbright Electric. Home rewiring? Argerbright Electric. Whole house generators? All it takes is one call to Argobright Electric, 224-5557.
Hey, how about checking your lighting and your electric at your house? How about calling Argobright Electrical Contractors? Thank you for joining us on Blue Devil basketball, as well as from the girls' side, Raiders, Lady Raiders, Comets. Appreciate that sponsorship. Best Kept Sod also joined in there with our regular sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor, contact Coach Pettit, Lisa Pettit, or even myself. Oh, and a good steal here. Whitfield takes it down. Milton, lays it up and misses. I knew he wasn't going to try to dunk it, but the layup was there after a great steal. On the other end, Woodson Jr., the block shot. That was a nice block there, Coach. DeFrates went in. Woodson Jr. got up high, but I got a feeling on the loose ball, Thomas is going to commit his 5th foul. He played a pretty aggressive game down on the block. 4:48 left in this one. 5 fouls on Woodson Jr.
Well, I think they got Tate on that one?
They got it up on the board. 5 fouls, number 14.
Okay.
If so, Woodson 2 points in the ball game here in the 4th quarter. You know, for Thomas, the only thing, working on the game, work on some muscle. You know, at 6'6", it'd be nice to put a little weight on him, a little strength. But he'll be a load.
I was going to say 15 to 20 pounds, the right way. And,
Lift, eat, lift. Lob out front. Good job there by Avion Tate. He kept it from getting inside, but then he could not stop the big man inside, DeFrates. By the way, that's DeFrates' first basket of the ball game.
Well, and he's their leading scorer at 14 a game.
Yep.
So other people have picked it up.
Left corner, Parker Douglas misses the 3. Well, he has been at the free throw line, so he's been 2, 4, 6, 7 out of 8. So he's got 7 points there, 9 for the ball game, but silent as far as hitting hoops. Hemphill, one of his worst passes there, trying to throw it across the lane to Jeremiah Jackson. Lepper knocks it out of bounds. 4:19 left in this one. Crimson triggering in. All 4 guys start at the elbow, spin everybody around. Lepper just steps up. They knew he was going to lob to one of the big guys. After Lepp tips it, Whitfield got it. But then tries to throw a long pass that was not there. He's made a couple good passes like that. Good news is the Crimson stepped out of bounds. Checking out is Jeremiah Jackson, though checking in is Wyatt Moore.
Another good-looking sophomore, this Jeremiah Jackson, 6'1", very active.
Inside. Good move there, Tate. Problem is, Tate had somebody behind him to block the shot. And on the other end, Hemphill, the reverse layup, the finger roll. Twisting his hand out there. 56-33, inside 4 minutes left in this one. Lepper, good high-low pass there. Whitfield came from the corner. Milton gets the basket.
Good job by Whitfield not bringing it down. Kept it up. Ooh.
Left side, long 3. Moore, just a little more than he had in his gun there.
Well, he's not afraid to let it fly.
He looks good, too.
Sophomore, yeah. Jacksonville's going to be good coming up next year also.
You'll see him in Quincy next year at Blue Devil Gymnasium as they alternate their home and away. In the high post, almost hit Tate running by. Lepper makes one of his uncharacteristic bad passes, but taking it away, and a good job into the basket. Tate took it away, give a little bounce pass to Whitfield, and Milton heads back to the free throw line where he was 2 for 2 in the 3rd quarter. Good job by Tate on the steal. Foul was called. Number 4, Chris Mulamba, his 2nd foul, both in the 2nd half. First team foul for Jacksonville in the 4th quarter. Milton misses the first. He has one more. 3:26 left in the ball game. Parker Douglas, Avion Tate, Brendan Lepper, Joel Clausel in the lineup with Whitfield. Second one rattles in and out. Good news is Avion Tate kept it alive for Parker Douglas to get the rebound. Skipped over. Jewels stops up. Shot. No good. I wonder when that was going to happen. At halftime, there's 6 little boys, 7, on the front row. And they were showing their dribbling off, doing a little fun. And then during the timeout, they'd go back. And I said, one of these times that ball's going to roll out. And here comes Dad to say, give me that basketball. Hey, they mean well. They're the future Crimson. got a few years to wait, guys. You'll have a chance. 3:15 left. Crimson with the basketball. Convincing lead here of 21. Parker Douglas has Hemphill. He'll pass it on. No, he'll go ahead and keep it. Brings it down the right side. Flashing. I'll tell you what, the big guys flash. Whether it's straight down from the weak side, I mean, they're sending the big guys everywhere. You got to be ready to stop it. Box out of bounds play. Check that. One guy's over in the corner. That's DeFrates. Coming behind the screen. After that, Hempfield's missed the shot. Lepper gets the rebound. Lepp throws it out. Running down. Good job by Avion Tate. And you know why Tate did that so well? This was like football. Get out, run down, grab the ball, lay it in. Way to catch on that pass. Lepper gets the, wow. Lepper gets the assist on that, and then turning around on the other end, he had 2 threes in the first half, and that's Johnson drilling from outside. Parker Douglas drives baseline, kicks it left corner, comes left wing, back to Tate, left corner. Avion Tate for the three-pointer. Tate's got 5 straight points. Crimson brings it down in the half-court set. Lepper knocks it out of bounds. Last touching in Hempville, and by the way, that last three-pointer by Avion Tate. For every room, for every project since 1978, Woodmart Building Center. They can take care of it for you. That's 12th and Seminary Road, woodmartbuildingcenter.com. Substitutions. Emmerich Batley will come in, the senior. Kenai Humphrey in. Avery Beeston checks in. Naz Kelly checks in, number 12. And Carter Trowbridge rounds out the Blue Devil lineup with 2 minutes left in this one. As we mentioned, Devils will fall to 8-19. Half court, Wyatt Moore says, I'm going to take it away. And Wyatt Moore missed it. It looked like it was going in. Gets a rebound, and Wyatt says, why make the first? I can get an offensive rebound, I can get a bucket, and I can go blue-collar 3. I don't think that's what he really meant to do. He'd like to take the free throw right on the layup right off the bat. Foul was called. On the other side, Tobias Runsala checks in out of the ball game.
And now they're great senior class here at Jacksonville. They're pulling them out one at a time, giving them their due.
Beeston comes out. He had the foul. Rebound. 2 by Crimson. Ball's on the floor. We get a jump ball. Devils will get it back. So Wyatt Moore couldn't complete the three-point play. Devils have the basketball down with 1:49 left. You'll hear the coach's comments after the game, brought to you by the Kunis Auto Group. Coach Douglas will break this one down. He mentioned struggling. He's still struggling a little bit. We're putting minutes together. We're just not putting quarters in games yet. Batley in the left corner. Back out to Beeston. That 1-3-1's got Wyatt Moore out the front again. Beeston went into not really the land of the Giants, but there was one big man to stop him, and that was Mulamba. Back outside. Beeston's 3, no good. Batley gets the rebound. Beeston passes it up. Kenai starts to make a drive. We're looking for a jump ball or a travel. All 3 guys are looking. What do you got? Far guy says traveling. Either way, it was going to be a jump or a travel. It was going to go back to the Crimson. Checking out now for the Crimson, Mason Johnson. Johnson hit 3 trays.
Another one of those seniors. Good looking ball player also.
Yep, 15 points for him unofficially. We'll have those after the ball game. I love the old board up there. It has the fouls with the little dots all the way across on the side where their names are at. Approaching 1 minute left in this game. Into the ball game, number 0. That's Jack Wissell Calmise. Hyphen in between. Turnaround shot, no good at the high post. Runsala trying to get in the scoring column. 1 minute exactly left in this one. We've enjoyed being on the road with the Devils, all the teams this year. We're going to be on for postseason. Only the QND Raiders, Lady Raiders, have hosting anything, and that's the regionals. Humphrey works left side. Beeston in the short corner from the left.
And I don't think that's happened in a long time either.
Spinning around. Seemed like they have some. Maybe it was the section on a year or 2 ago. Beeston, he gets stopped out here. Good defense out there from Alexander. He was in earlier. Naz Kelly comes out. Back out to Beeston. He's going to step in for the 19-20-footer. Good! Avery Beeston hits the three-pointer from the wing. Brought to you by the crew at Woodmart Building Center. Check them all out Kevin, Eric, Cindy, Jay Scott, Jeff, Tim, Paul, Christy, and even Megan Obert from the left side. Three-pointer no good. Rebounded by the Crimson. Wyatt Moore got the rebound, sent it back outside, trying to get guys to score. They're really working on Musala scoring here. 5.4 left. Doesn't look like he's going to get to because Devils might take the last shot. To the left side, Kelly, no good. Boy, I was hoping Naz made that shot. Well, we were tied way back in the first quarter. Well, we were tied actually when we started the game off at 0-0 in the opening tip. But I'll tell you, that second quarter, from the first to the second, a 16-point run, including the first 13 points of the second quarter. Devils could never come back from that, Coach.
No, hey, it's a game of runs, and gosh, I mean, you put a 16-point run on somebody, and you end up winning by 18. Game was won and lost in the second quarter tonight.
As everybody starts heading out, you'll start to see the camera move a little bit because everybody that sits in front of us touches this bench to get up to the stairs. So we've been fortunate enough to have everybody sitting down and enjoying it. But we do thank Ryan, the athletic director over here. He's done a nice job. We were hoping this season a couple times to have volleyball and basketball for him and did not on the girls' side. But, well, that'll do it for the regular portion of our broadcast. Stick around. We got the Hardee's post-game show. But from the bowl, last road game for the Devils in the regular season, it's the Crimson from Jacksonville, 61. The Blue Devils from Quincy, 43. And it's been Blue Devil basketball right here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
Spring is right around the corner with warm weather approaching quickly. Best Kept Sod Farm offers a full line of landscaping services. We can provide the labor. If you thrive on DIY, we can give you advice or recommendations on how to make your lawn the talk of the neighborhood. No job is too big or too small, and as always, we provide free estimates. Best Kept Sod Farm is a local company who strives for excellent customer satisfaction and takes pride in what we do. Contact us today by phoning or texting us at 217-779-0620 to discuss your project needs.
Who do you call for ceiling fan installations? Argobright Electric. Electrical troubleshooting? Argobright Electric. Home rewiring? Argobright Electric. Full house generators? All it takes is one call to Argobright Electric. 224-5557.
Bet you outdrive you this hole.
If you outdrive me, I'll take $10,000 off every car sold at Kunis Quincy this month.
Daddy needs a new ride.
Brian Harms, I'll bet you got a lot of people asking for fish sandwiches this time of the year.
You bet. Isn't that great? It is that time of year. People always love our fish sandwiches, and they're with tartar sauce and lettuce. You can get that any day of the week. We got the beer battered Alaskan pollock back. I'm back from Alaska. We caught all kinds of them.
And what kind of fish are those?
Pollock. Pollock.
And you've got a special deal going on. 2 fish sandwiches for just $7. Right now at Hardee's, 30th and Broadway, Quincy.
And welcome to the Hardee's post-game show, brought to you by Hardee's 30th and Broadway. Brian Harms and Company with the Alaskan pollock. Right now, 2 for $7. It's fish time. Get out and check it out. Well, here you go. This is the way the ball game went. Starting off the first quarter, Devils were up 12-9. Last shot of the first quarter was a three-pointer. That made it 12-12. The Crimson took that quarter and ran out another 1, 2, 3 three-pointers. So 4 threes in a row. Finished off a 16-point run going back to that first quarter. 25-12. We're down by 13. Devils fought back, got the last bucket of the half. down by 34-20. So you're down by 14. Coach, you mentioned it. That was the stretch right there. Third quarter, Devils got a few baskets, but Crimson spent a lot of time at the line. They had another 6-point mini run. They were 8 for 8, from the line in the third quarter, and the final in the third, 48-29. Fourth quarter, it was trade baskets time. After those 2 free throws that started off the quarter by the Crimson, your final 61 for Jacksonville, 43 for the Devils. Jacksonville improves to 19-8. Devils fall to 8-19. So reversing there. So we all mentioned the pressure, the 1-3-1, the size, and in that run to start off the second quarter. Those are some of the recipe that will cause you to lose by 18.
Well, we played them even. After the second, if you take the second quarter out of the mix, we played them pretty much even, the whole game. But, once again, it's a 32-minute game, not a 24-minute game. And, you've got to make sure that, take care of the basketball. I thought the offensive rebounds, in the first quarter, helped the Crimson stay up, with the Blue Devils, the offensive glass. Second quarter, we just couldn't take care of the basketball. We had way too many bad turnovers, in the second quarter, and they got out and took advantage of them, So, it's one of those things to where, you look at it and you can see growth, but you got to be able to play 32 minutes and do it at a high level, against varsity basketball teams.
And I still agree, like Coach Douglas, I like this squad too. They're going to be young. We did this 4 years ago, starting off with a squad, although we had Jeremiah Tolton. Jackson tonight got me thinking about him. So here's what Jacksonville has up: at Jerseyville, at Taylorville, and then they open up the postseason at Jerseyville. So they're going to have Jerseyville 2 out of the next 3 for the Devils. We mentioned Tuesday, home against Moline. Then the following Wednesday, February 25th, at Edwardsville. We are the number 8 seed taking on the number 1 seed in that ball game. So it'll be
it's not a number 1 seed like Edwardsville has had in the past, where they come in 28-2, and you're going, okay, well, we got Illinois recruit, we got another Big Ten recruit on the team. This is an 18-17, kind of like what we saw here with Jacksonville. So if we go down there and we do what we need to do, we'll have an opportunity to, shock Edwardsville and go down there and beat them, on their home court.
Could be fine. Hey, it's the post-game show brought to you by Hardee's. We'll take a break, come back with more right here from the Bowl, MeccaSportsCo.com.
If you're building a house, remodeling an older home, thinking about a new deck, or need a whole new kitchen, Woodmart is your project partner. Since 1978, Woodmart has been the most trusted building materials and kitchen and bath design company in the Quincy area. At Woodmart, you'll find enthusiastic, experienced professionals helping you through every phase of your project. We offer smart advice for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer and top-quality materials. Woodmart Building Center, 2000 North 12th Quincy, your project partner since 1978.
Who do you call for ceiling fan installations? Argerbright Electric. Electrical troubleshooting? Argerbright Electric. Home rewiring? Argerbright Electric. Full house generators? All it takes is one call to Argerbright Electric. 224-5557.
Here in the Hardee's postgame show, if you can't stop and get the fish, but you're still hungry and you're downtown, stop by our other sponsors. 8 Open, a Southern Kitchen at 601 Main Quincy. Also across the street, Atlas Slice, 121 North 6. You've got all kinds of specials on 1 at 8 Open, and you've got those pizzas, chef-driven. Oh, you got to be. Thank you. That's us. Hopefully we're still going there as someone pulled the plug. He knew the yellow one wasn't his. And it's the Jacksonville guys. All good. You're all good here. So anyway, let me get back to the post-game show here. So, hey, we're going to have you tear down the equipment and haul it to my car, too. Good luck to the rest of the postseason to the Jacksonville crew out there. It's always fun. It's great when you get along with everybody out there and you don't have any issues. So back to the postseason. And let's get to the post-game first here, Coach. All right, it was a tough one. but we had a lot of them this season. You got to regroup. You've got, well, wait a minute here. You know what? I don't have a camera now, so I think we're still on, but the camera got knocked off. I got no problem with that. So we'll continue the post game on there, and sometimes the camera has to reboot. And so many times before a game when I'm doing this, I've got to reboot it. And so for those who don't get to see the floor and all the kids running around, we've still got the action here. And let's break down the scoring. First for Jacksonville, now 19-8. They were led in scoring by Latrell Hemphill. He had 15. Mason Johnson had 15. Troy DeFratz, 9, but only one bucket, but was deadly from the free throw line as he was 8 for 9. Check that, 2, 4, 6, 7 for 8, 8 points out of Jeremiah Jackson, 2 threes there. 8 points out of Grayson Prevet. 5 points from Wyatt Moore. If you add those up, I'm probably got 1 extra point. Harrison Alexander in the ball game. Also the crowd favorite, Tobias Runsala. And other than that, I think that was their lineup tonight. They might have tried to sneak guys in, but I don't have them in here. For the Devils, who will fall to 8-19, they were led. Milton Whitfield had 10 points, a bucket in every quarter, and 2 for 2 from the line in the third quarter. Finished 2 for 4, though. 8 points out of Joels Cosell. He had a couple three-pointers. Wilson Freiberg. Wilson had a good first half and played hard, rebounded, played good D. He had 5 points. Brennan Lepper had 5 points. Parker Douglas had 5 points. Avion Tate had 5 points. So some good distribution there. Avery Beeston came in, hit a 3 late, and also Thomas Woodson Jr. before fouling out with 4:48 in the game. He had 2 points in the game, but not scoring. Emmerich Batley, your senior. Naz Kelly got in. Carter Trowbridge, Kenai Humphrey, Tim Griffith, all didn't score, and that rounds out our 43 on the night. And by the way, we did have 2 threes in the first, 3 in the second, so that's 5 threes. Brought to you by the Woodmart Building Center. And so, this would be the darkness you normally will get in the postseason because the National Federation of High School Sports cameras block us out. But next week at Edwardsville, Monday for the girls, we've got the camera on. Friday, if they win, we've got the camera on. At the pit, the camera's on. The next week for the Blue Devils opening up, the camera's on. And then probably after that, it's back to the radio call, which some of my favorite there, since that's where I started. And you get us doing the play-by-play, and you've got to envision it. And Coach Pettit will do the color with his crayons, his markers, and everything he's got there. So, well, Coach, your last thought on tonight.
Well, we had spurts. Yeah, first quarter, I thought we played well. Third and fourth quarter, I thought we played even with them. I don't know what the numbers show, but, I thought we played even with them. Gosh, but you got to play 4 quarters in this game of basketball. You just can't play 3. You got to figure out a way to, dig yourself out. When you get sped up, trying to do too much stuff, pull it back out and take care of the basketball and get good shots. We did not do that in the second quarter at all.
Hey, post-game birthday time. I got a hold of John Hammond today, trying to reach him to see if he was busy. That's our tech guy, by the way, Pyrographics, John Hammond. He was busy. His wife's birthday today, his son's birthday tomorrow, so happy birthdays to the Hammonds. And I hope they have a good time out there. So, well, it's the post game. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hopefully hear from Andy Douglas. Devils lose this one 61-43 here at the Bowl on this Valentine's Day night. That was not very loving for the Crimson to beat up us on this. But anyway, back with more MeccaSportsCo.com.
Who do you call for ceiling fan installations? Argobright Electric. Electrical troubleshooting? Argobright Electric. Home rewiring? Argobright Electric. Whole house generators? All it takes is one call to Argobright Electric. 224-5557.
Better bed, less money at Sleep Tight in Quincy and Jacksonville. Shop Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster with free delivery, setup, removal, and 0% financing for up to 5 years.
Sleep tight.
Sleep tight.
And we are back. Look, that's what happens. When you hit the button and then hit the other button, it resets it. So we've got video again. By the way, we are at the Mecca Mobile Studio, brought to you by Sleep Tight. Better bed, less money. Sleep Tight, Quincy and Jacksonville. That's sleeptightmidwest.com. So, I did know that, Coach, that I'm learning every day about this stuff. And about the time I finally figure it out, I'll retire or hit the grave. Not sure. I'm hoping it'll be retire and not hit the grave. So, wow. So here we go. Post game. We broke it all down for you here. You know, we had 8 Devils score. Going inside to Lepper, we tried to get it in there. We saw some good passing too. High-low, we saw some zipping. Whitfield zipped one from the left side all the way down to the right block. Forced some though too. And the 1-3-1 took a toll on us in this ball game early. And
well, you know, the length of that 1-3-1 was, you know, very bothersome, you know, for us in passing the basketball. You know, not a lot of good ball fakes. You know, the 1-3-1, if you attack it the right way, you should be shooting layups all night long. But we couldn't get the ball, I mean, away from their up front. Because, shoot, when you had the 6'6" Moore kid out front, you know, and then Previtz and DeFreitas, you know, on the wings, you know, at 6'7", 6'8", you know, and then 6'4" Malumba, you know, in the middle. Yeah, that's a tough nut to get around, you know, and to pass the ball.
You can't get by the first or second level where you want to be, you know, taking on that guy in the back of the 1-3-1 where you have a 2-on-1 advantage or something because you can't get by the top. And then when Hemphill, Latrell starts out there with great hands. Then you bring the big guy out there, more like you mentioned, at 6'6". Excuse me. That makes it really tough because with that much size out front, now if you're really good and you can move that ball into the middle and make a quick turn to one of those guys on the corners.
Well, and, you know, that's the one thing our guards have got to learn. You know, you got to do the hard ball fakes, you know, get the zone moving, you know, and then look at your seams and go from there.
And we saw a few of those ball fakes tonight that really worked out pretty good down here, too. So now joining us, Coach Andy Douglas. His comments are brought to you by the QHS Auto Group, Faith, Family, and Giving Back. And tell you what, we did, again, another one quarter where we're 12-12. Second quarter, 3-3-3-3. But the 1-3-1 was really the key for these guys, the pressure early. And when Hemphill's out there, that's a guard. You've got DeFrates and Previtt back behind him. But you bring that Wyatt Moore in at 6'6", that really makes that 1-3-1 tough.
I mean, that's as long of a group as we've gone up against this year, and they play the 1-3-1, you know, very well. We didn't attack it very well all throughout the first half. It seemed like the majority of our solid looks came at the end of the first half and then quite a few there in the second. But, you know, once you get the ball into the high post and you're able to move off of that, get the ball into the short corner and have guys diving off of that, that's where your open looks are going to come from. And we exploited it, but we didn't exploit it enough tonight.
And we got close a few times, didn't get them in there. Second half, it was 27-23 as far as going. That second quarter, as we mentioned, a 16-point run. Those are tough. First quarter, I really saw it maybe first part of the half. Wilson Freiberg was really working hard inside on the rebounds and trying to get open. He had 5 points, but I saw a lot of good stuff out of him down there.
Yeah, no, he had a really good weekend, I thought. You know, he provided us with a different level of toughness, which is what we need. A guy that's going to go up after, you know, rebounds, a guy that's not afraid to mix it up some, and he provided us with that.
Well, we turn around now. We got to get back to Tuesday, get to work. It's the last of the conference. Sean Taylor comes in with Moline. Good ball team, and we can play with anybody, and we definitely can for a quarter or two. You know, it's just getting beyond that. We've had that same conversation, not to be a broken record.
Well, it has been a broken record. I'll give you that. You know, we're working at it, but you know, we got to again play with a different level of focus, a different level of toughness. Tonight, you know, you go into halftime with around 12 turnovers. You're not going to be able to compete against anybody on our schedule with 12 turnovers in one half. And, you know, we didn't value the ball. We didn't play as aggressive as we needed to play. You know, guys attacking gaps. There was plenty of them out there. And I thought what we did a lot of is make their defense look better because we didn't look to attack, whether it was off the dribble or off the pass. So got to be better. 2 guaranteed games left, and this will be the toughest stretch that we've had probably since Rocky and then going to Deerfield.
Yeah, and, well, I thought we did a good job. I thought it was a good call, you know, going to the man, because I thought the offensive rebound when we were in the zone, you know, it hurt us several times, especially in the second quarter.
We have way too many guys that, you know, I told them, watch, if you think you're playing hard, watch 4 possessions in a row when you're in the game and see how many times you go to the glass defensively. and we don't have anybody consistently being dogs on the rim. And you know, it's not a one-person job. It's not a, hey, Thomas is tall, Brennan's big, they can go get the rebounds. Milton's athletic, he can go get the rebounds. It's got to be everybody. All 5 guys have to crash, and again, we didn't do that consistently.
Yeah, all 5 guys got to put their butt on somebody. Hey, you know what I mean? Then go get the ball. Hey, you know what I mean? A lot of times, you know, we get the shot up and we're looking up at the rim for the basket, and their guy goes right around us, tips the ball, and goes from there. You know, we got to make sure that we stay matched up, you know, and put a butt on somebody.
Yep, got to be more physical.
Yep.
Talked about that a lot this year.
One of the keys tonight would have been if we would have brought the 8th grade Andy Douglas in for 32 points tonight. Might have been a different game out there. Trying to have a little fun, keep a smile out there too. But back to the drawing board for the weekend. We'll be ready for Moline and, of course, down there for Edwardsville.
Yep, appreciate you guys.
All right, that's Andy Douglas. His comments are brought to you by the QHS Auto Group, Faith Family, and Giving Back. We'll hear from them. We'll wrap it up after that. Hear from the Bowl. Blue Devil Basketball, MeccaSportsCo.com.
QHS Auto Group is proud to sponsor Mecca Sports Broadcasting.
If you're looking to score your next new ride, be sure to visit QHS Honda.
And QHS Hyundai of Quincy.
With over 300 new and used vehicles to choose from, you won't find a selection like this anywhere else.
Plus, give your vehicle the game plan to success by servicing with our new state-of-the-art service center.
Visit QHS Auto Group of Quincy on 36th Street and see how QHS makes it easy.
This stream is brought to you by Mecca Sports Co., your streaming platform for all 4 Quincy High School basketball teams. Be sure to subscribe and like on YouTube and Facebook. Just search Mecca Sports Co., and you won't miss a thing from QHS Blue Devils and Lady Devils with coverage for the QND Raiders and Lady Raiders on the road. Be sure to visit MeccaSportsCo.com for the complete schedule of games and more.
And back in the post game, a chuckle here as we were lost the screen there for a while as the Jacksonville station pulled the plug. Nice to see that the equipment stays on somewhere, because we've only had trouble twice this year, and we apologize for those times. And hey, we're getting it there, folks. Don't worry. So, Coach, your last words, since I asked for your last words earlier, but it really wasn't your last words I was looking for just at that point. But give them to us, Coach.
Well, I think Coach is getting a little frustrated because, right now you look at this team and, the freshmen are now sophomores as far as I'm concerned. The sophomores are now juniors as far as I'm concerned. They need to step up, and start taking care of the basketball, and make sure they're doing the little things, that, a successful team will do, and we're not doing them for a full 32 minutes, in order to compete, with, like I say, this is a solid basketball team, this Jacksonville team that we just played. Their length, their athleticism, their shooting, this is a very good team, so we got to start picking it up a little bit and start, like I say, the turnovers just drive me crazy, and that's unacceptable, especially some of the bad turnovers we had, tonight that led to easy baskets on the other end by Jacksonville.
And it don't get easy to close out. Moline at home and then Edwardsville on the road, the number 1 seed. Great thing is that once the season completes, back in the weight room, back on the gymnasium, only 3 guys graduate as seniors. So a good opportunity there. By the way, thank you to everybody this season. We thank the administration. We thank the scoring table. Tried to thank everybody across the board. If we didn't thank you, here's another thank you out there. Take that one personally. Really appreciate it out there. Coach Pettit and I enjoy following basketball, as you heard Coach Pettit talk about Mecca Sports, because Quincy is the Mecca of high school basketball. I love that. Thank you, Jerry Leggett, by the way, as well. So. Terry Thompson's right now laughing as he loved it because he was sitting in that locker room with you when he heard that. So I love it there. Hey, for Coach Pettit, I'm Jeff Wellman. Last road game of the regular season for the Blue Devils did not end up the way you wanted to, but a very, very good Jacksonville team that we're going to try to follow in the postseason, see how far they go. As we close up here from the iconic Bowl, the Bowl, Jacksonville 61, Quincy High 43, and this has been Blue Devil Basketball right here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
Brian Harms, I'll bet you got a lot of people asking for fish sandwiches this time of the year.
You bet. Isn't that great? It is that time of year. People always love our fish sandwiches, and they're with tartar sauce and lettuce. You can get that any day of the week. We got the beer battered Alaskan pollock back. I'm back from Alaska. We caught all kinds of them.
And what kind of fish are those?
Pollock. Pollock.
And you've got a special deal going on. 2 fish sandwiches for just $7. Right now at Hardee's, 30th and Broadway, Quincy.